Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. And oh man, the things we learned last week.
On Critical Hit.
Exactly.
On Critical Hit.
If this is the first time you're joining us, you might want to go back and start at the beginning. We'll wait.
Yeah, because there's like 502 episodes, so, you know.
Oh, you done? Great. Welcome back.
Wow, you guys listen fast.
Well, everybody's a little bit older.
What are you implying, Stephen?
Rodrigo, well, it took him a while to get caught up to be back where we're at.
So they're the future people now?
They are the future people now.
Hello, future people.
Rodrigo.
Hey.
We're in this house of mystery.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen next?
What is going to happen next? We will see. So you guys remember what happened last time?
On
Critical
Hit.
Yes.
We fell.
Yeah, we made it to Vecna's keep, and we were exploring around, found some wandering, shambling, caged up, or stored away, I don't know what they are, zombies, liches,
Probably not
creatures.
liches.
Probably
Definitely
not
not
liches.
I
Dead
think
things.
zombies would be appropriate enough.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We also found a couple of rooms, one called Incoming Secrets, one called Outgoing Secrets, and there's a lot of, I don't want to say disturbing in that it's like creepy, weird kind of disturbing. Maybe it is for some people, but more disturbing in that how much of us appear to be connected to those things in the rooms.
There are definitely some connections between us and things in the secret rooms.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then as we stood there, a lot more stuff seemed to be getting added, which is upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
We're being analyzed.
Could be. That's my fear. That's why we left that room, right?
Yep.
We went back down the stairs, and we're now back at the junction, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're going to keep going upstairs.
Oh, so is
Up.
there more upstairs?
No,
More
the
upstairs,
upstairs leads to those two rooms.
Okay. So
well,
the
okay.
only place left is down.
I guess so.
Yep.
So I guess we should
That
go
right
down.
there is our official Critical Hit motto, kids.
Oh, no, we passed that around.
The
episodes
any
ago.
which
Maybe.
way, our motto. Especially
Hmm.
lose.
Anyways, we're going to take our time going down the steps.
Yeah, that's a good idea. These are some old steps.
Are they stone?
They are stone.
Okay.
Any of them going to break under our weight?
Probably not.
Cool.
It seems that they are at least maintained to the degree that they're not falling apart.
Yet.
So you guys head down. You want to give me a marching order, just to know?
Oh, I will lead.
I will follow.
I'll stand in the middle.
I'll actually try to be like right behind Sakar so I can like look out for traps.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds fair.
Actually, I'll take
Okay.
the rear.
Put the squishiest person in the middle.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys know that anyone can look for that sort of thing, right? It's like
sure.
in this edition, the rogue doesn't have to be the one who does it.
Right. In
Right,
fact,
yeah, I always
my-
forget that. But Sakar's got a totally decent perception check, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it all perception, or does dungeoneering count into any of this stuff?
Dungeoneering is basically underground in nature,
Hmm.
so
Okay.
it tends
It's like-
to be
that's an
for like
ooze.
natural ecosystem type stuff that's
Ah, okay.
underground.
All right.
You probably could do thievery, but that tends to be once you've spotted the trap or whatever, then you can disable it with thievery.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've...
I'll move to the back then, since we can. I think because Sakar's perception's just as good as mine.
I think they're equal.
That's a good idea. Watch everybody's back.
Framed, if you will.
Okay.
What we call the snake and beak connection.
Yep.
I'm going to find a good name for this tag team, one way or the other.
The scales.
Yeah,
Oh.
Tooth and claw.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Tooth and feather.
That sounds like a British pub.
It does, actually.
The tooth and
drink
feather
there.
and pig and brick and duck and bell and whistle.
The wingman? I don't know.
Poison and Polly want a cracker.
Boo.
Does
Uh,
both describe?
Anyway, you guys are going down the stairs.
Yep.
You head down the stairs. Then there's a hallway. And then there's another set of downward stairs, which curve down.
Curve like spirally or curve like steepening?
I mean, it is kind of a lazy spiral, right? They're not like when you think of like a spiral staircase that just where you can see all, like if you stand next to it, you can see all steps in it. It's not quite like that. It's clearly it's going down, and the steps are spread out over maybe, I don't know, several feet. It feels more like you are walking. If you go down that way, it feels more like you are walking around maybe like a large central pillar, rather than it being like a full-on spiral staircase.
Okay.
Let's keep going down those stairs.
Okay, so it gets very hot very quickly going down these stairs. And there's definitely that sulfury smell from the crags that you saw outside.
Try to basically rig myself a thing to cover my face to breathe in as little of it as possible.
Yeah. Who has... what doesn't everybody give me an... what do they call it nowadays? Endurance check?
Endurance? Because I don't want to.
I think I'll risk
Oh, boy.
it. Oh, no.
Like I said, birds are particularly vulnerable to this stuff,
Apparently.
as are half-elves.
Yeah, I might be part bird. No.
But
Yeah, there you go.
not sort of kind of humans.
Actually,
Sort of kind of.
I've been part bird since before I met Sparkle.
Yeah, there you
Yep,
go.
exactly.
Sort of kind of humans are fine with this. Smells like Diamond Throne.
Are we?
Okay, so yeah, definitely Sakar and Randas are fine. They can smell it, and it smells bad. We'll say that Orem and Ket are sweating it, and like their palms are cold. But like little Sparkle is having a real rough time of it. Like she just does not feel good. She kind of feels like she has a fever. I mean, it's not, she's not like falling over or anything like that, and it's like if it's something that she wants to like hide from the team, she could, because her bluff is pretty strong. But yeah, she definitely doesn't feel good.
Hope we don't have to beat it out of here or fight anyone. I don't think I'm in a condition to do that.
I
think perhaps we should head back up.
No. This is the last place we have to check. Let's press on.
Are you sure?
No, but we came this far, so let's do it.
All right.
Fortunately, she's right.
All right. So you guys make it downstairs, or make it to the end of these stairs, and find yourselves in what appears to be a bridge. If you walk up to the bridge, you see that the bridge has some railings. So the bridge itself is made of stone. And then it has some metal poles with a rope on, like, going through them. So basically making up a rope railing to the bridge. Once you get up to the bridge, you can see that several feet over that way, there is another similar bridge. And when you look down, you see the following. You see this big room which has several tables and a couple of holes in the ground that have some like bubbling, sizzling liquid inside. All of these tables are surrounded by those little green zombie guys. I mean, they're not little, they're, medium size, but they're kind of hunched over and
Sure.
haven't
The
really
smaller
been
of the
bothering
zombies
you.
we've encountered.
Right, exactly. Same deal, wearing green robes, wearing green ribbon covering their eyes. and they are all kind of huddled around these tables. There's maybe 20 tables down in that room, and they are like, tinking, tink, 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 working on something metallic.
Can we tell what it is?
Not from here. And once you kind of peer in to kind of try to tell what it is, you guys spot that there are entrances and exits to this room from from the level that the actual room is in, and each one will say that you spot 2 from the bridge. Each one has 2 of those big zombies standing guard.
Oh.
These guys are also wearing green robes. Now that you get a look at them, they have big, sort of elongated forearms, big thick fingers, and faces that kind of protrude forward. Certainly not helped by the fact that they're in a state of decay. You would imagine that these used to be ogres.
Okay.
Oh my.
And unlike the other guys, these guys do not have their eyes covered.
What do they spot us?
Nope. They don't seem to be looking up, but they do seem to be alert. They do kind of move their heads around to look at what's happening. And the little, like the worker zombies don't go anywhere near them. Not like they don't seem to show any fear towards them necessarily, but they don't approach.
And we can see 4 of these ogre bees?
Yep, you can see 4 from your vantage point.
Which means there are at least 4.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the size of the room, there could be other entrances.
Yeah, let's
Yep.
try to get a little closer and get an assessment.
Without getting killed.
Yeah.
Yes, ideally.
Suppose
I mean, that
I'll
was implied.
tiptoe over and look at it.
Okay. So you guys begin
Yes.
quietly crossing the bridge.
Minnie the Moocher plays.
And as you do, you see that the wall moves away from the bridge and kind of opens the room some more. This room is very irregular because it probably used to be some sort of cave. And so let's say that you had spotted those guys on the left side. As you move and the cave moves away from you, on the right side, you spot another section of this room, and you see some of the guys from the previous table that you had seen walk over to a much, much larger table. This table is probably, we'll say, maybe 10. Well, the table itself is probably 15 feet long, and there are several zombie guys working on a single thing. And as you guys move towards it, you recognize it as an enormous Randus-style prosthetic arm.
Enormous, as in ogre bee size?
No, it would take 2 of these ogres to carry this arm.
Oh.
Oh no.
What are they?
They're duplicating your prosthesis.
Somebody is outfitting something with Randus's technology. Do we see anything else besides the arm? Do we see the little thing
yes.
that allows him to pop in and out of existence? Do we?
Oh, I saw that
you-
upstairs.
No, I mean,
Yeah, you saw
being
that
worked on down
upstairs.
here.
No, you don't see that. So a few things. One, as far as stealth, you really don't feel that as long as you stay on the bridge, you have to worry because this place is really loud.
Mm.
And the ogres don't really seem to spend a lot of time looking up. But once you get to this side, you see that there's probably a good 15 of those guys, either guarding an entrance or just walking around, just kind of doing very regular patrol type shifts. And you see that moving forward, there is more to this room. And you also feel like very much like you're on an observation deck.
Mm.
Like This
Like a
is
factory floor.
this is specifically so that somebody can stand up here and look down and see what's going on with like a foreman's view of things. I guess maybe not a foreman, right? Like a foreman would be down there. I don't know.
No,
I don't
foreman
know
would be up high.
factories.
A five-man.
I'm curious
He's
if
a
we
step above.
where are they taking these arms?
They don't seem to be taking them anywhere right now. They seem to be working. Like the smaller groups seem to be putting together pieces that are going into this arm. There does appear to be another table that just has some other assembly.
What do they seem to be assembling?
It's hard to tell. It's some sort of circular thing with some pistons popping out of it.
Is that the plans that we saw earlier?
No. I mean, this isn't anything that lives in Randus. Like Randus recognizes the pieces of it, maybe, but it's something else. It's definitely adapting his technology, but it's for something else.
Hmm.
Who knows how did someone make this arm for you, or did you work with anyone on the arm?
I pretty much made it myself.
Didn't the
Didn't the
robots
Exalarchy
help?
help?
Yeah,
Exalarchy.
help you enhance it.
I think there was some assistance there.
Huh. Could they have sold the technology or shared it?
Would
Possibly.
be quite a coincidence, wouldn't you think?
That really doesn't seem like something the Exalarchy would do. They're very isolationist.
True.
I wonder what he's doing with this, or where it's going.
Isn't Vecna famously missing a hand?
Yeah, but he would have to be a lot bigger than I imagined him to be.
He is a god.
Sure.
That's a bit more than a hand.
Oh, I don't know.
Does anything look like an ocular device?
You look around. I mean, potentially. You can't see what everybody's working on. Once you start looking around again, though, you spot sort of off over there. Again, this as you guys move forward, you see that this room is really huge. A lot of it is obscured by these vapors. But as you continue to move forward, Orem spots these somewhat rounded crates that are huge. They're really, really massive, like the size of like a bungalow house.
Yeah.
They are up against the wall. There's maybe 4 of them. They're up against the wall, and they're just kind of this big sturdy wood driven with nails and chains around them. And as Orem kind of moves his gaze over them, one of them like jerks forward with a loud thump.
No.
Like there's something inside, but then stops moving.
That's not disconcerting at all.
Does this look like something we may all have in our bags?
No.
Okay.
Does it look
not
big
weird
enough to
eggs.
like have whatever would have that arm?
I mean, maybe it's not. It's like if something is in there that would have this arm, it's going to be really cramped in that box.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if whatever it is doesn't have any limbs, maybe it's not that cramped. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, it potentially, right? It's like it could, but there's no clear like, oh, this is where the arm goes, and therefore we can extrapolate that this is, Mechagodzilla.
This could just be Asmodeus's facility. He could just be in league with Vecna to do whatever this is.
It's possible.
Let's try to get a better idea of what's going on here. Put the pieces together. Just keep kind of circling around the bridge, looking at more activities as much as possible.
Okay.
All right.
You guys continue forward and eventually get to the edge of the room. You spot more assemblies, but really that arm is the clearest thing that you can see. Randus recognizes a lot of smaller things, a lot of oversized components that, if you can extrapolate. Like if I was doing something that big, I could put it on, a giant ankle or wrist or something. It's like same deal with, maybe some cabling where it's like, well, that seems like it would help with like neural connections or whatever. But nothing that is obviously like a robot head or anything like that.
It's a giant Randus mech.
Yeah.
I mean,
Powerful
not
head.
even the weirdest theory.
And eventually you guys kind of get to the end of the bridge, and there's another hallway that leads forward.
I say we follow.
Okay.
I say I agree.
All
Okay.
right.
You get to a hallway, and there are 2 staircases. One of them leads up, and the other one leads down. And from the angle and the curvature, you would imagine that the downward one probably eventually leads to that room that you guys were just overlooking.
Hmm.
And right past a pair of Ogambis, I'm sure.
Oh, almost certainly, yes.
All right, let's try up then.
Yeah, up it is.
Okay. You guys go up, and the heat begins to die down, although, again, anybody who got, below a 30 is probably still feeling pretty bad, and, Little Sparkle is, I don't know if birds sweat, but this one might be. And you guys get to a really big set of double wooden doors. These are different in that they are a lot nicer than the doors that you've seen before.
Oh,
Hmm.
this seems more like right.
Yeah, they look newer, and they're a different type of wood. They're like a redder, sort of richer looking wood.
Should we knock?
Yeah.
Probably would be a good idea.
Okay, I knock.
Okay. You knock, and one of the doors opens.
Okay.
There's no one there opening the door. The door just opens on its own. And it's like clearly like you knock, there's a pause, and the door opens, right? You didn't
Okay.
like accidentally knock it open. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, ooh, self-opening door. It's like God's 101, right?
All right, I suppose let us go
Enter.
inside.
We enter.
All right. So you guys walk in to find yourselves in a fairly large room. It's a big stone room. It's a lot cleaner as far as like dust and stuff that you've seen so far. Definitely walking through that big workshop. There is a big wooden desk with some paperwork on it, and a like an oversized wooden desk, like a desk for a creature that is very large, at least. Along with a big, nice chair. And as you walk in, the door gently closes behind you, and the creature at the desk looks up at you and smiles. It is humanoid. It has a pair of pointy horns, kind of moving, kind of starting on its forehead and then going up, but not directly up, kind of at a diagonal from each other. A pair of weirdly kind of cute goatee ears, and comes down to a pointy chin. Reddish fur, nice black robes, bright red eyes. You recognize him as Asmodeus.
Oops.
Well, welcome in.
Hi.
We're surprised to see you here.
Yes. I suppose you would be. He stands up, walks around to the front of his desk, and kind of sits on the desk like a boss.
I take it this is your lab.
This is one of my labs. It certainly has been working overtime recently.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I owe the majority of it to my favorite research group.
Oh? And how?
Well, yes.
Go ahead.
Well, yes, of course. Obviously, I'm referring to you.
Yes. And how have we been doing your research?
Largely by just being yourselves. You're all very resourceful and have been lots of places.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, surely you must have seen it in the staticite, the high-end prosthetics.
Yes.
Obviously, everything you saw in the southern continent, I mean, you've been instrumental to my organization and its future as well. When this conflict is all over, we are looking forward to moving operations elsewhere as well.
Uh-huh. And how did you obtain all this knowledge that we've been acquiring?
Well, for one, it's not like you guys are particularly quiet about it.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that.
The other one, of course, is that I've had a few ways of keeping tabs on you for a long time. I had my mark on Ket, of course, and since the beginning, he kind of motions towards himself. I've had ears on your group, and, Ket's backpack starts moving around, and guy pops out, flies over to him, and Asmodeus holds up his finger like he's a Disney princess, and Guy lands on it.
You said he wouldn't betray you?
Oh, don't be too rough on him. He can't help himself. The best part is that you all figured it out. And it's like, okay, so here's the genius thing about this whole thing. And he flicks his finger and Guy jumps off and lands on the desk. Heroes are such a problem, and they've always been a problem for me. So I figured, why not make them work for me? And it's just so brilliant because it solves so many problems, right? It's like if you just follow the heroes and do what they're doing, then you get all this stuff out of it. And even if it becomes evident that there's a problem, they're such goodies that they won't turn on each other. It's amazing. You had so many opportunities to disband this group, so many opportunities to get in each other's faces about this, but you won't because you're friends. And it's just fantastic. And it blows my mind because the only person who figured this out really was Corellon, which I was not counting on. But you're so good at thwarting his attacks. It's amazing. This has paid for itself so many times over.
So what happens now?
Well, like I said, heroes are always a problem. So we have determined, and he kind of looks to either side at no one, that your current course is sort of becoming a liability. You started out pretty slow, but you've really started to pick up speed with your little treaty idea. So we've decided that it's time to disband this group.
Orm the thing?
Yep, Orm reaches into his bag. Who's going to use it? Randus?
Stick out my arm.
So Orm reaches into his bag, and Asmodeus says, "Oh yeah, that. Can you get me that?" And Orm suddenly feels a hand around his neck, and is very surprised to realize that it's Sakar's hand.
Ah.
I kick Sakar really hard.
You kick at Sakar pretty hard. He is super strong, man.
I kick him again.
What are you doing?
Sparkle the thing?
Was going to subtly march into Sparkle, but
Here's another good one. If you have the blood of a vampire elder and you do the proper rituals, you can actually gain control of their brood. Seriously, get me that thing. Squeeze until he pops if you have to.
I'll try to pull it out of his bag as quickly as possible and dance away from Sakar.
Punch Sakar?
Do I have any ability to resist this?
You don't. You can talk, though.
Mental recalibration.
Okay. So Sparkle grabs the thing. So you've got the starfish.
Yep.
All right. And he says, what are you going to do with that?
I'm going to attempt to kill you.
Okay. Well, it might be difficult in your condition. Here's another good one. Did you know that the fever that people catch is a weird dormant strain of lycanthropy when you're bitten by a were-rat? This one was very difficult. We had people working on it around the clock. And little Sparkle starts feeling really bad. Like really, really bad.
Oh, no.
And like she's shrinking.
Oh.
And little Sparkle falls over and shrinks into her armor.
Oh, no.
At which point, a little rat runs out.
No!
Orm's going to pull out his sword and in one sweep cut off Sakar's arm that's holding around his neck.
Okay.
It's going to try to grab the starfish as it falls.
Okay. Kit grabs the starfish. Orm pulls out his sword, and he's like, all right, enough of that. And Asmodeus pulls out what appears to be a very large jewel. And Orm poofs away like he just teleported.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, again, excellent research. And he like tucks it back into his coat.
I just brought that thing up.
I know. You guys, mwah, mwah, so good, right? And he looks over and he says, the real tough one was you. And he points at Randus.
Randus is pure of heart. You can't corrupt him.
That's right. It's like, it's
Randus
actually, I don't know how you stand it. This is all really difficult. And Randus realizes that like little rat Sparkle is like frozen in like her sprint away. And Ked is like about to grab the starfish from the ground. And he's just kind of frozen in time.
I'll try to move outside time.
You can't. He says, anyway, this is very difficult. I'm just gonna head on back. You just enjoy. And he freezes in place to Randus's point of view. But to everyone's point of view, Randus is just gone. And he says, so little rat Sparkle is like completely overcome by rat instinct and runs out under the door. And he says, Sakar, be a dear and fetch me that rat.
I will kill you.
Yes. You know, heroes always say that. And, you know, Sakar, you know, you can tell that there's a little bit of a struggle to it, but he got control. So Sakar moves, like walks out of the room, closes the door behind them. And Asmodeus says, okay, so got the rat, time guy, teleporter, vampire. So that leaves us, right?
Yup.
I gotta say, you have proven to be extremely useful. I was obviously very impressed at your performance in the Celestial Crusade. So I thought, even though this group is just kind of not working out, that I would offer you another position. So here are some options. If you look to your right, you will see a door. And sure enough, if Ket looks right, there's a door there.
Mhm.
If you go through that door, you can, you will essentially be allowed to retire. You will be taken to a remote island where you have my word that the rest of this conflict will never reach you, and you'll be able to spend the rest of your life drinking, gambling, doing whatever you want. If you want, we can even try to find your family and get them to you there so that they themselves are exempt from all of this, frankly, violence that's allowed to happen or about to happen. So that's one option. If you look to your left, you should see a door. And sure enough, there is a door there to Ket's left. If you go through that door, you will join our organization officially. You'll be in the payroll. You'll get your paperwork all figured out, and you'll be able to help me continue my campaign to take over the astral sea, the world, and eventually all of those neat little dimensions beyond that you've shown me. You get to be part of the team. You get to reap the spoils, advance in the hierarchy, gain as much power as you can, and I suppose as a bonus, continue playing in the Kobold's Alley, although honestly, that's pretty soon going to be small potatoes as far as the power that we could acquire here. Last option, if you look behind you, there's the door you came in through. You would be allowed to walk out that door, go wherever you want to go, and no strings attached, no harm, no foul, but if you interfere with my plans, it'll be an interference. No one is going to say, oh, that's Ket, let's not chop him in half, right? So these are your options. Any questions while we're here?
Has Guy been yours from the start or from your sponsorship?
No, I always had a line in. I do with all imps. You know, the funny thing is that they're called book imps because they're good at keeping books, but also because they're so readable. And you wouldn't know that because you need to be a god to know that. But anyway, yes, I've always had the ability to look into him. I didn't at first because I didn't think you were that important. But as you guys have become better and better, you know, I was able to glean more and more information from him. And again, don't be mad at him. He really can't help himself. Although he is evil. I'm sure by law he has to point that out to you every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Is there a status site in this room?
No, there is not.
I'll be taking my leave now. I'm going to teleport back and head out the opposition door.
Head out the no strings attached door.
The one that still puts me at odds with him, basically.
Yeah, there's like, come work for me, leave forever, or do whatever you want, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do whatever I want.
Okay. When Ket looks over at the door to teleport towards it, he says, are you sure?
What else are you going to do to me here?
Do to you? Nothing. I'm just saying, think about what you want and think about what the best position to accomplish that would be. Seriously, think about it. Think about every time that you've ever failed on your missions and think about where your head was. Think about where your head is now. Do you think you're going to make the smart choice?
You've been pulling my strings since day one.
Yes.
I don't want to continue under that regime.
Fair enough.
Walk out the door.
Okay. Let's wrap there.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Hate you.
There you go, ladies and
So-
gentlemen. Basically a TPK without the killing parts.
I hate you.
There's still time.
Man, I really wanted to cut off Sakar's arm.
I wanted you to cut off Sakar's arm. I think that would have been
I
awesome.
wanted it to be cut off and still be gripping my throat.
Yeah,
And then it scabbers into a wall, and we try to shoot it.
it grows another Sakar.
Yes.
Oh, man. You're so freaking evil, Rodrigo.
We all hate you.
That was All right,
You're
it's all on. No pressure, Cat.
You're a
So
monster.
I will say, back on episode 500,
Mhm.
as we were flying up to the when we got on the Eagles and we were flying up and we into that episode 500, in the back of my mind I was like, what if this is the secret lab?
Yeah, well.
I had a suspicion of that.
I mean, I
Why
said it
didn't
out
we all
loud,
punch Ket in the face sooner?
But we also said that a bunch of times too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
We all looked at that app.
Rodrigo-
yeah, it was just like this is clearly shady, and he's almost assuredly spying on you. But like, what choice do we have? Bench him?
Rodrigo is
Squish him and
Asmodeus.
not resummon him.
You know, he's a guy with a weird beard
He's
who manipulates
Asmodeus.
us all
Yep.
secretly from the shadow.
He likes wearing those red furry pants all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Walk on my
that's-
tiptoes to seem taller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
All right,
Always
so
giving people a deal for a golden fiddle.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to do this to you, but this is where the episode ends this week. Yeah.
We'll be rolling up new characters next week.
Yeah,
Bye.
don't you wish you were a patron now and knew what was happening next? Patreon.com/major spoilers.
Oh, are we playing the role of Ket's new familiar?
So do we.
All right, don't be surprised if when we come back we're all a little frazzled and all a little discombobulated, but you've only got a week to wait. In the meantime, don't trust anybody that that has a secret imp. Don't make deals with the devil. And here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
Yeah.
This podcast is copyright 2019 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.